Hey Misfits! So this week we're going to be talking about what we would tell our teenage selves.
So I know you've been through a lot, especially in your teenage years.
Yes.
So what kind of advice would you give yourself from back then?
Jesus. I would just say, don't be everybody's rock. It's okay to reach out to people. It's okay to take some hurt from people. But a big relationship that I had in my life, I was her rock through every single thing. And it burned me time and time again. And granted, I grew from it, I learned from it, but I would tell my teenage self, don't be everybody's salvation.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that is my biggest thing. What's yours?
So I have a couple. The biggest thing would be don't lose yourself. I tended to get so wrapped up in the idea of finding somebody to love me, even at a young age, and I needed to not do that. And so I would go back and tell myself, focus on yourself. Don't get too wrapped up in other people, because that is when you start losing everything. You start losing your idea of life, your drive in life. Another big thing would be along the similar lines. If you have a drive in life, go for it. Actually dedicate yourself to this passion, to learning more about it, to not thinking, oh, I did something really great, so I'm just going to stop here. But keep going. It's actually advice for myself now, too.
It's a daily reminder to just keep going, keep aiming for what you're going for.
Yeah. But it's not just keep aiming for the same thing, keep going for your goal. It's put in the motivation, put in the work, because it does take hard work and effort to get to where you need to be.
Oh, yeah. Now, if there was one specific thing that I would tell my teenage self to do instead of doing it later in life, honestly, would be to have done the weight loss surgery when I was younger. Granted, I would have had my health care still, so I wouldn't have had to gone through all the obstacles I went through now for it. But just from what I've seen mentally, I am so much happier and just happy in life.
I feel like you needed to reach that point, though.
Oh,
because but beforehand, having gone through that with you, more or less,
oh yeah,
I can see a big change in your attitude and your mindset from leading up to the surgery.
Oh yeah, like you definitely have to have the mindset for it, but for the mentality, if I would have even knew this was an option when I was younger, I would have done it, because everything that I had tried and gone through, I gave up because nothing would work, and it was just dead end after dead end, and then the bad mentality started to kick in.
Fun stuff.
Gotta love it. Not super drastic, that would completely alter everything, but what is something specific that you would tell yourself?
When it comes to relationships, because it's tough when you ask me that question, because what I went through with my ex led me to having such a strong bond with you. And
I'm gonna cry.
Don't do that with makeup on.
I hardly have the makeup. This is the one with the full face.
Yeah. But with that, if I could still keep that connection, I would go back and say, this is not the person for you. You need to move on and heal yourself. Like, keep to yourself, because there are so many things wrong with this person that you need to not be involved in that. Aside from changing everything completely and so drastically, I would have gone back to tell my school self, my student self, like, focus more in school. I focused so much, but at the same time I was focusing on the wrong things. I had so much anxiety about trying to get things right, trying to know things before I actually knew them. But
trying to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And that was not healthy for me. That's not what I needed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's all we've got for what we would tell our teenage selves.
Yeah.
What would you tell yours?
Thanks for watching. Be welcomed.
And get creative.
Bye.
Bye.